Welcome back, everybody. This is Ethan, and thanks for joining me at No, It's You, Not Me, the lighter side, where we step back and we take a deep look inside and we try to figure out what the hell's wrong with us, alright? Get back up. You still have life left to live. You ever fall so hard the world goes quiet? The kind of quiet where the phone stops ringing. The kind of quiet where nobody checks in. Where the only sound left is the sound of your own breathing. That's when it gets real. That's when the pain sets in. When the thing you loved is gone. When the dream you had dies. When the person you leaned on ain't coming back. And it hurts. I know it hurts. But you're still here. You're still breathing. Which means this story ain't over. See, pain is the proof you're still in the game. Pain means you still care. Pain means there's something left worth fighting for. I know you're tired. I know you're numb. You feel like everything was taken from you. But listen to me. Grief is not the end. You don't have to erase the pain. You don't have to forget what happened. But you gotta stand up. With it. With the weight. With the scar. With the memories. Because what broke you doesn't get to bury you. There is power in falling. But there's glory in getting back up. You ever seen a boxer hit the mat, face down, crowd silent, and somehow they get back on their feet? That ain't strength. That's spirit. That's something deeper than muscle. That's will. And you got that same will. Buried, maybe. Wounded, sure. But it's there. And it's screaming at you right now. Get up. Not because you're healed. Not because it doesn't hurt anymore. But because your purpose didn't die with your failure. Your calling didn't end at the funeral. Your fight ain't finished until you say it is. Yeah, I know the question. Why me? Why'd they leave? Why'd I lose everything? Why did it have to happen to me? Let me give it to you straight. There may never be an answer. But the real question is this. What now? What are you gonna do now that you've been shattered? That your dream fell apart? Now that you've tasted loss? You've got two choices. You can either stay down or you can build something stronger from the wreckage. You don't get to choose what broke you, but you do get to choose what you do next. You lost someone? Then carry that flame. Live in a way that honors them. Let your life become the story they never got to finish. You lost your business, your dream, your chance, then build again. But this time, build it better. Build it wiser. Build it with grit poured into the foundation. Let your losses become fuel. Let every no, every heartbreak, every betrayal become the very thing that makes you win. They say you hit rock bottom. Good. Because now the only direction left is up. There's something beautiful about breaking. Because when everything's gone, when everything's stripped away, that's when you meet the real you. Not the one chasing applause, not the one pleasing everyone, the one who still wants to fight, even with nothing left. You think rock bottom's the end? No. It's the beginning of the most powerful version of yourself. The you that's not afraid anymore. The you that doesn't beg for approval. The you that gets back up and keeps swinging. Now it's time. Not to restart, not to rewind, but to rebuild. You rebuild one small step at a time. You show up, you cry if you gotta cry, you scream if you gotta scream, but you keep moving forward. You rebuild your routine. You rebuild your mindset. You rebuild your belief in you, piece by piece, brick by brick, until the day you stand on top of the rubble that once buried you, and you say, I'm still here, and I'm not done. Let me ask you this. What do you want your legacy to be? That you gave up when it got dark? That you quit when life took someone from you? That you stayed down because it hurt too much? Or do you want to be remembered as the one who rose anyway? As the one who rebuilt? Who carried the name? Who carried the dream? Who turned pain into power. You're not broken. You are forged. Every scar, that's armor now. Every tear, that's fuel now. Every time you thought it was over, that's the moment you became unstoppable. So I say it now, loud and clear, stand up. Let the world hear your comeback. Let the pain hear your roar. Let the graveyards of your past know you are still alive. And as long as you're breathing, you still got something to give. Now get up and go live like you were born to rise. Oh, but getting up is just the beginning. Now it's time to rise. Anybody can stand, but not everybody climbs. And you weren't built to crawl through life. You weren't born to tiptoe around your greatness. You were made to stand tall, with your scars on display, because those scars, they tell the world, I've been through hell, but I made it back. So don't just stand. Rise with purpose. Rise with vengeance. Rise with fire in your bones. You spent too long playing small. Too long doubting yourself. Too long asking, am I ready? Yes, you're ready. You've been ready. Life's been waiting on you. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. No more letting grief become your home. No more settling for survival. Now it's time to thrive. To stop living like life's an apology and start living like it's a declaration. You are powerful. You are rare. You are still here. So don't come back as who you were. Come back as who you were meant to be. Let me tell you something deep. That fire you had, that passion, that hunger, it didn't die. It just got buried. Under the loss, under the depression, under the noise. But guess what? Fire doesn't just go out. It waits. It waits for your decision. It waits for your action. It waits for you to finally say, I've had enough. And when you do, that fire roars back to life, hotter than it's ever been. You think all this pain was random? All this loss? All this breaking? No. It was preparation. Because people are watching you. People are depending on you. People will need your story. So let them know they are not alone. You don't go through darkness just to survive it. You go through it so you can lead someone else out. You don't bury your pain, you build with it. You don't hide your tears, you teach through them. You want purpose? It's born in fire, and you were made in the fire. Speak your name like it matters. Speak it like it belongs on stages, on books, on buildings, in hearts. You forgot who you are. And life tried to erase your reflection. But now you remember. You are not a statistic. You are not a broken soul. You are not some forgotten chapter in someone else's story. You are the main character. You are the author. You are the rebuilder, the phoenix, the force. And from this moment on, you speak life into your name every time you rise. You've got voices in your head, don't you? You're not enough. You're too late. It's over for you. Let me tell you something. Those voices are lies. They're echoes of fear. And fear doesn't speak the truth, it speaks limitation. But you were born limitless. You were born resilient. So silence the lies. Answer every doubt with action. Answer every fear with faith. Answer every scar with strength. And when they say you can't, you look them dead in the eye and say, watch me. You've been through the storm. Now it's time to own it. You walk into every room with your head high. Not because it didn't rain, but because you learned how to dance in it. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need the sun to shine. You are the storm. The thunder in your voice. The lightning in your pace. The flood of resilience in your soul. You walk like you've been tested, because you have. You walk like you've been chosen, because you are. This world, it ain't ready for the version of you that came out of that pain. So here it is, the final stand, one last truth. You didn't come this far to stop. You didn't crawl out of the wreckage to turn back. You didn't survive the storm just to be quiet about it. No. You came back to dominate, to live loud, to love fearless, to lead bold. And no matter what life throws at you next, you know how to rise, because you've been built at the bottom. And you built your throne there. Now get back up and never come down again. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. If you found any value in this, if you enjoyed it, or if you just want to share how terrible you think it is with somebody else, just go ahead and like and share it around. Subscribe for more.